I'm gonna play this story.
I entered a psychosis episode, and the next thing I knew, I was strangling all 3 of my kids. My name is Lindsay Clancy. This is my story. It was January 24th of 2023, and I had recently just had a baby. I was experiencing some postpartum psychosis. My husband got home around 5 p.m., and I asked him if he would go pick up dinner. Little did he know what was going to happen while he was gone. As he left, I told all 3 of my kids to come to the basement to play. I grabbed some nearby exercise cords and began to strangle them one by one. After they all stopped breathing, I knew that I could no longer live without them, so I ran upstairs, opened the window, and jumped out in hopes that it would end my life. The next thing I remember, I woke up in a daze and was being helped by paramedics, and my husband looked absolutely distraught. I ended up recovering from my injuries, but all 3 of my kids went on to pass away in the hospital. I am currently on trial and am claiming that the reason I murdered the kids is due to the postpartum psychosis I had been experiencing. However, the state is arguing that my killings were premeditated as I sent my husband to get food. The trial is still ongoing. Follow for more stories.
The part that's a lot. This is a part of the story where she said she strangled him in the basement and then be like, oh my God, I can't live without him, so now I must kill myself. I'm like, I don't know the inner workings of post, whatever that term they were using.
Postpartum?
Yeah, I think it's...
If you have kids and you recognize that your girl may be going through some postpartum, you don't leave her alone with the kids. No. Because you don't know how real that shit can... I mean, I'm just saying, like, that you don't know how real that shit can get. Like...
That's a true story.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I 100% believe it. And I don't know that I've ever experienced, like, real postpartum. Like, I've...
People just think women are just bitchy.
No. I'm saying, like, you...
So how do you identify? How do you see it? How do you even...
Well, you have to educate yourself on it, right? Like, because you can't just assume. But you can... There's definitely telltale signs that something ain't right. Like, if you notice your girl or your woman or your wife or whoever, like, being extremely depressed, like, you just had a kid.
Yeah.
You just had a kid. She wanted that kid.
Okay.
Right? Like, most women, when they get pregnant, like, they're elated. They're excited. They're happy until they start going through the symptoms of pregnancy, morning sickness and shit like that, where they may be miserable, but they always look forward to...
Well, she had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think it's full of shit. I don't
know. Maybe that last one knocked her the fuck off. I don't know. I can't call it. What I'm saying is you have to recognize when a woman is off her square after having a baby. And that shit can last for a long time. Like, I do know that postpartum, like, it's not like, oh, well, you got 6 weeks of postpartum. You know, you got 3 months of postpartum. You got like a year of postpartum. Like, I don't know how long. This is like after you have a kid, your hormones are thrown off so fucking much that you trying to regulate that shit in your body can't. Like, it's a lot of shit going on in a woman's body. But as a man, it's your job, like, 100% to pay attention to that. Like, yo. But here's the point. If you 100% masculine and there's no femininity in there, there's no sensitivity in there, you're going to miss it. You are not going to see.
So I got to be feminine.
I'm not saying that
I have to have a certain level of femininity. Correct. To understand.
To be able to tap into your woman, to be able to be soft enough to recognize that she's not where she normally is. She's not her normal loving self. She's not operating under that same softness that a mother should be operating.
But men can't have that.
No, men do have that.
We can suffer the same thing she posts with hyper.
No, because we don't go through the same hormonal thing.
So this is even crazier that we will want to leave a man go to the system like, yo, she's not fit to take care of these kids. She's crazy.
Yeah.
She's literally crazy. No, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. She got the kids. If women have these issues, why the hell the men should be the perfect choice to raise the children? Like,
that's an argument that a lot of people are making now, though.
Because of this type of behavior.
No, just because in general, like the data says that men are more fit to raise kids. Like you haven't seen a lot of the data that's coming out talking about and people post them on podcasts and snippets and shit like that, where single father homes versus single mother homes versus both parents being in a home.
Yeah.
There's little data that shows the difference between a single father home and a both parents being in a home.
Yeah.
there's little change, like very, very little change, but there's a huge change
Or just a dad.
with a single mother home versus those other two.
Yeah.
There's a huge change, which shows, well, I mean, people don't want to say it, but which says that as a whole, women are unfit to be single parents.
But they think they.
Well, I mean,
Most women promote that
that's the way that the system is set up. Like that's the way that everything is set up. Child support system, the prison system, all of that other bullshit. That's the way that it's set up. It's set up so that it's supported.
Yeah.
So single mothers are supported. You dig what I'm saying? Like even to the point where a mother can go to prison, come out, and then get full custody of her kids from the dad. That's likely.
Yeah, this is
How unlikely is it that a dad can come home from prison on the bullshit? Let's just say a bullshit charge, like I don't want to call it a bullshit charge, but let's a DUI. What? Because no, I mean, if you have an alcohol problem, then you might be unfit. But let's say what's a technicality, like technicality charge that people go through? Let's say a drug charge. Let's say drug dealing.
Yeah.
Was drug dealing. Like he was a drug dealer. Marijuana. Come home. Oh, you was in prison trying to get them kids. You go ahead and try to get them kids from that lady. I don't give a fuck. Them kids got to be in the most destitute situation for you to get them kids. Especially coming from prison. That's what you coming from prison. Like they got to be in a destitute situation with you just being straight up with that person. Like the consideration always goes towards the mother. So I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think the data that's coming out, like if I'm to believe the data that's coming out, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Makes a lot of sense for the woman. But like I said, it's up to you
to see those signs.
To see them signs.
Yeah, I was listening to that story. It was a lot of women that killed their children. I'm looking at it like,
and they still alive.
So what is yeah. Well,
so here's another point to back that up though. There's a lot of women that killed their children and they're still alive. How many dads do you think killed their children and are still alive?
Probably not many.
Because they
successful at killing themselves.
They checked out.
But I think these women are full of shit. Like she dropped out the window, but I don't think she really wanted to kill herself.
Yeah, because you jumped out the window.
Yeah, so it made me think about Brenda.
Had a baby?
Brenda really had a brain. A damn shame. The girl can hardly spell her name.
Okay. Brenda ain't
That's
hard
not her problem. That's up to Brenda's family. So,
Brenda ain't hard either. Did she have an H or did she not have an H?
Yeah, I don't. What's wrong? That's what I'm trying to think. Was Brenda a victim of that?
Postpartum?
Yes, postpartum. Like, was she a victim? But no, she had it on the bathroom floor and didn't know so. She didn't know what to throw away and what to keep.
Mm-hmm.
She wrapped the baby up and threw him in the trash heap. She thought she'd get away. Wouldn't hear the lies. Wouldn't hear the cries. How much a little baby had her eyes. Like, y'all remember the lyrics? I'm just understanding, like, yo, what makes a woman, that been bothering me too. So I'm like, yo, why? Like, women talk about men so much, and this is not attack on women.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like men did some crazy things, but to throw a baby in the fucking trash.
Yeah.
I can't even think, like, how did you walk away? They had the video when she walked away and she heard the crowd, like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was like, kind of like, like, that's it?
That's all she had. She stopped in the tracks real quick.
I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck do you just leave a baby in the trash? Like literally, I have a trash can in the bathroom.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
If I throw a baby, I throw a baby in the trash can, just walk away, like, and just go finish my day. Like, leave out the house, go on vacation, and just left the baby in the trash can. Like kind of, I never heard of a man doing that. Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, men did things, blew the head off with a shotgun, but I'm like, yo, the complete leaving in the trash thing just blows my mind.
But the man, like I said, the man, if he did kill his kids, I know of men killing other women's kids and shit like that. The motherfuckers was going. I remember seeing shit like that, but that ain't their kids.
Yeah, you just murdering.
Right. So, but and those men are also mentally disturbed. But I know of the way that I look at it is men don't want kids, right? So like, let's say a chick get pregnant.
Okay.
I don't want that kid. Abort that kid, right? full on board. This bitch having this kid. I don't want this bitch to have this kid. I don't, whatever the case may be.
I feel like that's still like Brenda throwing in the trash can.
I mean, but follow me.
All right.
The man won't see that kid, right? It's two different paths. And if there's a third path, you give it to me. But two different paths. The man never sees that kid. He going, he's deadbeat. He fully like, that shit is out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. He ain't trying to kill the kid. He ain't trying to take the kid out. He just like, carrying on my life. The man sees the kid.
Okay.
And now he's all in. Like, I ain't want this bitch to have this kid. Now you go see the kid in the hospital. And now you all in. Like, to the point where you might even try to get back with the baby mom.
Just to spend time with your child.
To work shit out. To see if things can work out or whatever the case may be. I see those two things happening over and over again. And I think the former is in lieu of the latter. I think the fact that they don't want to see the kid or they try their best not to see the kid is because they know, or not even if they know, but if they do, they're going to end up in that situation, whereas though they are responsible for this child.
Yeah.
Like, and putting they all into it and just essentially putting their life on a back burner to make sure that they doing whatever they need to do right by this kid. Those are men. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I look at the other part of it where women would rather have an abortion than give their kid up for adoption as a whole.
Yeah. That happens a lot. Some lady stopped me downtown trying to get me to sign up for, what was it, like
Pro-life?
Whatever it is when they just want women to be able to do what they want with their body.
Pro-choice.
So a lady stopped me. Is like, hey, you want to, donate to this thing that's going on? I'm like, nah. I think it has something to do with abortions and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'd rather just promote abstinence. Like, I don't really want to help that cause of helping y'all put out hits on babies.
See, that's the difference. Like, that's a choice.
What, to put the assassinate babies?
That's a choice.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible choice.
I mean, is it yours to regulate?
Who, me?
Anybody's.
Well, yes.
You think it's somebody else's choice to regulate whether
because it's a doctor performing it. All right, so I walk in the crib and the lady's like, "This baby gotta go." Knife about to stab herself in the belly just to kill the baby.
Yeah.
I could stop her and be looked at as like, I saved a life. I saved her life, but they're not really worried about the baby too much. They might be thinking about the baby too, because I saved 2 lives. But she can go into a clinic and just be like, let me fill out the paperwork and just like, get this removed. Like, get it removed sounds crazy to me. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes sense to me in the sense of she found out she's pregnant. She don't say shit to nobody. She go in the bathroom with a coat hanger and take care of it. And now she dies as well because she doesn't have a safe way of doing what she just did. Whatever. Like, so now 2 people are dead. In your words, 2 people are dead. The baby's dead. She's dead.
Yeah.
Or she don't tell nobody about it and she stabs herself because she ain't going through with it. Now 2 people are dead, regardless how you look at it. And it's her body. Like, you're not gonna tell me if I had an issue with my nuts, right? And I'm just saying, like, I had an issue with my nuts, regardless of what it is. Like, I thought one nut was bigger than the other. One joint, just won't hang where it's supposed to. I like symmetry, whatever the case may be.
You look at the nuts that much?
Right. I'm just saying, like, or I got a pain in my nuts or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I can't take this pain and I don't have insurance. And I go chop my nuts off. Well, I go chop that nut off. This nut got to go. Whack. And then I bleed the fuck out. Like, yo, why would you chop your nuts off? I mean, it's my body. I can do what the fuck I want to do with it. I can go get a tattoo. I can go get a piercing. I can go get whatever the fuck I want to get. I can get my legs longer You know what I'm saying? I can get penis surgery. I can get all of this other shit. You know what I mean? I can chop my dick off because I want to be a woman. So I can do all of this shit with my body as a man.
Yeah.
But a woman can't do what she wants to do with
She
her
can do all
body.
those things besides assassinate babies.
I mean, I'm not saying that she assassinating a baby. I don't know that that's the case. I don't know. Like I'm not a doctor and I'm not a theologist, so I don't know when a soul enters a baby's body to make it a person or versus not a person.
So why don't they consider those things to be homicides? Like doctors is committing, they are. I don't even know the technical word for it. Like they are exterminating.
It's homicide.
Yeah, it's a homicide, but they don't. How many bodies you got? Like the doctor got all these bodies. Like, why is it not first degree murder? It was premeditated that you was taking the baby out.
Because that's why they go by trimesters, because they somewhere along the line decided where it became a human life versus being a fetus or an embryo or whatever the case may be. Like once it becomes that, then now it's a viable human life. Now, outside of this human being that it's hosting, this thing can be saved. Like I can take this thing outside of this human being at this point, and it can be nurtured into being a full human being. So at that point, it's a human being.
So here's the thing. Technically, the state or whatever can take your child if you like neglectful and stuff like that. That makes you feel like that you don't even own your child. You don't have no rights to that life.
You don't own your child. You think you own your child?
I'm just saying, like, nah, that's a bad word. Like you don't have no control on. You don't. What's a better word to saying own your child? What do you have with your children? You have children, so what do you have? You don't have ownership because it's a bad word. What do you have?
I have a responsibility. I got a duty as a parent
to keep them alive.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So why is it like now? It's like it's all her choice. But it's not really your responsibility to keep them alive, because if your child now, if you don't take care of them by their standards, they take your children and they make sure that the baby is in good standings. So why is it now? It's like, oh, now it's her choice to do what she want. When the baby come out, it ain't really don't matter if you don't want it. That's all the system got to say. Like, yo, we not doing abortions. You're going to have that baby, and then we'll take it off your hands. Not we just going to like, it's your choice. Why is it just your choice? Like, it doesn't make much sense to me.
That makes perfect sense.
No, it'll make sense if they couldn't take your child for neglectful behavior right now. Not being an infant. Your child being 5 years old, you're being neglectful, and they take your child like you're not fit to be a parent. Her having pro-choice would make sense if that didn't exist. That type of behavior or protocol didn't exist.
I mean, I guess I don't think one has to do with the other.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so at all. I think it's two different points. I think at one point it has to do with a woman making choices for her body, and the other one has to do with being a parent.
Well, the most common story is if I got raped, then I want to eliminate the baby. Mm-hmm. It's normally in those situations, but I'm like, I always say, like, how many women get raped that you have to do so many abortions? Like
more than you think.
They get raped. So a woman have 10 abortions. You think she got raped how many times?
Oh no, she definitely ain't get raped 10 times.
I'm trying to say.
I'm not playing that game.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm trying to say when women use that excuse, but it's like, how many abortions did you get in totality? Like
you need to move because
you keep getting raped.
Yeah, because that neighborhood got a whole bunch of rapists.
But you keep living there, so
yeah. Do
you want to get? I don't even want to joke about it, but well, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's one of them things. Like,
there should be a limit. At least put a limit on it, like a voucher. When you go there, they punch your ticket. Like you got two. You only got one. I
wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree that a woman should have to go in a database, and you know what I mean. Like once you cross 4,
your limit of abortions. Like you only have so many abortions you can get to where it's like we locking you up.
Yeah.
We locking you up if you manage to get we hitting you with homicide.
Nah, it's not even that.
If she get a 4th abortion,
if you get a 4th abortion, you get a hysterectomy.
No, you get a fourth abortion, you're getting liable for first degree murder if you successfully get rid of.
No,
the
what
baby.
I'm saying is during the fourth abortion, like you get 4 abortions. So once you get to that fourth one, while we in there, we taking all of that. We taking
No. The limit's supposed to be 3.
Okay,
say women only get allowed to have 3 abortions.
So if women are allowed to have 3 abortions, I wouldn't. This is funny as shit. This is funny as fuck. If women are allowed to have 3 abortions, on that 3rd abortion, you taking all of that. Ovaries coming, fallopian tubes coming with me. All of that shit coming with me. So if you can no longer you won't even need to have an abortion again. You can't have kids.
So we gonna abort the baby and we taking everything out.
100%.
Taking all the equipment.
Go give me all of that.
Like a car radio.
Give me all of that.
Like
give me all of that. Just leave the car sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't listen to shit. Yeah. Just that's how you hear.
So yeah, that sounds like a good negotiation.
I don't think that that's a bad idea.
But they want the whole thing. Like we just want to have abortions.
I don't think that that's a bad negotiation. If I think, and I'm saying this just to, just as shits and giggles, but I'm serious at the same time. I think if there was a choice, like I said, absolutes and gradient.
Yeah.
If there's a choice between abortion or no abortions, period.
Yeah.
Or we come to some type of compromise, I think that's a dope ass compromise.
I think it's great. I think we should hit the streets.
I don't know if the number should be
signs.
3 though.
Huh?
I don't think the number should be 3 though.
So like 2.
Well, you got to take into consideration environment. You got to take into consideration some girls have their period earlier. So, you're thinking about their mind and they're not smart enough. You know what I mean? Like they don't have the mental ability to regulate their emotions at that level. Like, cause all girls, when they go through their period, they go through that. Like they have no fucking idea what their body is going through, like hormonally. So a lot of the times when people come down on girls for being depressed and shit like that, or however they feeling when they're going through like, what's it called? Puberty.
Yeah.
When they're going through that, like a lot of people really, if you're a man, especially, you don't understand what a girl goes through when she's going through puberty. So you talking about a girl going through puberty at 11.
Okay.
And she's being raped by somebody in her household. What do you do with that? That's 3 abortions quick.
What do you mean 3 abortions? She got raped 3 times by the same guy?
Probably being raped by somebody in her family, like stepdad, whatever the case may be. Like the shit happens. It's brutal. It's fucked up. Shit happens. Like these little girls go through puberty early and they start developing breasts and whatever like that. They start, and pedophiles is going to work on them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's shit happens. So they get pregnant 3 times.
3 times?
3 times. Boom, boom.
From the family?
What? Hey man, you telling me that you don't think that happens?
No, I don't think it happened 3 times.
Absolutely think
so
it happens.
I think that a woman was molested and got impregnated 3 times in the family, and the doctor didn't report it to nobody?
The doctor wouldn't have to report it to anybody because the parents would be the one that's taking her in for the abortion. You have to have consent.
So like nobody's checking in like, yo, this little girl came here 3 times?
Yeah. You don't know
I don't know if that's true.
You ever been raped?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know the psyche of a person that's been raped. You don't know the pride, the humility.
We talking about 3 times,
the humiliation, the shame, the shit like that goes into it for them to not.
I'm not talking about that. No, I get that part.
I'm saying like
I'm talking about 3 abortions at a young age.
For them to not say something to the doctor like, yeah, I'm being raped by this person or that person, to block it out, to hold off on not saying anything until they're 20, 30, 40 years old, and then they really got to deal with the shit because it's affecting them in their everyday life. No,
I'm not trying to diss that part. I'm just saying, like,
what I'm saying is,
who's
that's the
not
part,
questioning why this little girl keep getting pregnant? Who's she getting pregnant by? As if it's a young boy, I get it.
That's so let's play the game. Fuck it. Let's play the game.
All right, I'm not playing the game. I'm trying to understand, like, the example
you
you
a
gave
rapist
me.
stepdad.
No.
Come on, just be the rapist stepdad real quick. No. Just be it. And you the mom.
I'm both.
No. You're not the mom. You fucking the mom, right? But you the rapist stepdad. And the mom is
I just can't get enough.
And you. I mean, you accompany them to this thing, and you're telling the mom, yeah, she fucking with that little Johnny from around the corner, or she fucking with that little Bert from around the corner, or now she fucking with that little Tyson from up the street, or whatever the case may be, and then she got pregnant 3 times. Bow.
Because I'm lying to her.
Because you lying to her because the mom is dumb enough to believe you, and the little girl is too ashamed to say the truth.
Okay. Too ashamed or scared?
ashamed, scared, whatever you want to call it. Like there's so many different emotions that I could think of that would make a person not want to admit something like that.
They should take your child if your child keep getting pregnant.
I don't disagree with that.
Like if your child got pregnant 3 times and she's still a minor, like what is going on with the parenting over there?
I don't disagree with that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't disagree with it. Something got to be done.
Yeah.
Something got to be done. But what I'm saying is it on her to go through those 3 abortions and then to and then not be able to have kids, and she only fucking 13 years old at this point because she got a pregnant. She got a period when she was 11. That's a little rough.
No, it's
right.
It's well deserved. I think she
it's well deserved.
Yes.
Wow.
I think no, because that situation ain't gonna never happen.
That situation probably happens way more than you think.
I don't think. Well, 3 pregnancies, man. I give you 2, maybe. I give you 2, but 3.
I'm and maybe more. I'm just saying, like I'm not trying to whatever. What I'm saying is I understand there are certain women who are like super fucking fertile. This is not a game.
I just found this out recently that seen a doctor. A doctor was saying that kids can reach puberty early as like 5 years old, shit like that.
That's scary.
Yeah, so it's like, so imagine your son having like hair on his Johnson, like at 5, and I'm like, yo, so like, they try to give you I think she said puberty blockers.
Yeah. Hormone blockers. It's I can't think of what the fuck it's called. It's a specific name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I was amazed. Like I didn't even know that was a thing out there.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a thing. That's what that same thing is what they give to people who are
transitioning, transsexuals.
Correct.
That's what she mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So all right, but to stop puberty, so they won't be so they won't look old as well. Because some of them hit puberty, it might look like very old.
Yeah, that's cool.
With the old face. You think that's cool?
Fuck yeah, I think that's cool. If I had a son...
Look like you 55 at
not 55, 7. But you could look like you 18, 19. You will be the best fucking player on the fucking football team. Why would I want to block that?
I mean, I'm saying that's one of the reasons. Because they can get teased. Stuff like that.
Teased? They gonna knock somebody the fuck out. They got man arms.
But that's not... No, when you was a kid and you look like you got a beard, kids would make fun of that.
Negative.
Yeah, they did. Like I'm very sure that didn't happen to me. But I seen people like,
my man experiences some trauma right now. He said, "No, 100%. This shit happens and it hurts."
Yeah,
but go ahead.
But yeah, no. But I mean, to go back to the women thing, yeah. But I think the yeah, I just never seen so much craziness from this whole pro-life thing or whatever you call this stuff. And I think that it's not even a sensitive subject. It can't be that sensitive if you're in the streets trying to get me to pay to donate to the cause.
Nah, it's a very sensitive subject. It's actually one of the biggest in this upcoming election. It's one of the biggest determining factors on who you're gonna vote for. That, especially with Roe v. Wade being overturned.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's abortions. We talking about abortions, like
yeah. We're talking about a woman's right.
But they keep bringing up these wild scenarios, but that's not everyone's scenario.
It's not everybody's scenario.
Yeah, so it's like I don't understand.
It's about basic human rights. It's about what you know, what it is, right? So, like I said, if I'm looking at things from a standpoint of viable human life, this thing can exist outside of my body on its own, unsupported, or even supported. And I got nothing to worry about. If that was the case, abortions would essentially just be, let me get this baby out and put it in a pod.
Yeah.
And allow it to grow, however it's going to grow, test tube, yada, yada, blah, blah, whatever you want to call it. And then given his adoption.
Yeah.
That's not a, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not an option.
No, they just want to eliminate the life.
It's not that they want to eliminate the life. They want to eliminate the responsibility.
Well, if you get it for adoption, it's no responsibility.
No, there's a huge responsibility. There's a huge emotional responsibility. You go through a whole pregnancy for 10 months. You feeding this baby. This baby is sucking life from you. It's a literal parasite. Like, it's sucking life from you, and your body is
So
changing.
you think those women that go to Miami to go party with the ballers
Yeah.
be thinking about just sucking the life out of me, or are they thinking about
I think
I can have a good time because I can easily get rid of all this shit that's going on that can possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
I got the plan B that don't work. I got the doctors
Mm-hmm.
that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to get out of here. Like I need to get out. Even if I get out of marriage, I got a side nigga. It's always like a scapegoat with these situations. Like, yo, you don't need the support of science to support your reckless behavior in Miami. Like, keep your ass from fucking all these ballers or man up or woman up to your responsibility. That's the way I see it.
Well,
and I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, how many narcissists do you think own up to their responsibilities?
Narcissists? What do you mean? Like men, or you just talking about any narcissist, like man or woman?
No, I'm talking about men or women. Like, how many of them do you think really own up to their responsibilities? And I think the vast majority of people who live in that life, who get repeated abortions, who go into it thinking like, oh, I could just get rid of it. I think those people are narcissists.
Well, the men. Well, as far as the men out there supporting it because they wanna not be responsible for a baby. So they out there. I don't even think they out there worried about what she worried about. They just worried about getting out of a situation.
I don't even think that they worried about either one of them. I think that they worried about getting a nut off, and I think that they're responding afterwards when, you know what I mean? Like when your feelings is inside that condom. Now you got to respond to whatever. So I'm not even thinking about you anymore. And I get a phone call a month from now telling me you need $300 or $400 for half of an abortion. Oh, I'm going to cut that check.
I mean, how do you even live? How do you even go on and still be with the person though?
What do you mean?
Like you
think like we talking about the people in Miami, or we talking about people in real life?
Just people in Miami are people in real life.
Nah, the people in Miami ain't people who carrying on trying to be in a relationship.
Well, even the people in a relationship, like a woman, is just like you get it with her, she get pregnant, and then she just have an abortion, and just look at you like whatever.
Mm-hmm. Carry on. That was a decision that we made together.
No, the bull like no, you're not getting no abortion.
9 times out of 10, that relationship ain't gonna continue.
But they're giving the right because it's her body. Like it's her body. What they could find out was how to move that into another woman.
Oh man,
that's the science we need to be working on.
That's the point that I was just trying to make.
Move into a surrogate, not try to do it from the beginning. To try to move a woman that want to get an abortion. You got new technology to move your situation into her
because she want one.
Not even that she want one, because what's your complaint? Your complaint is that you don't want to have the baby? Because if you don't want to have the baby, we got the science. What's your complaint? You don't want your seed to exist? Yeah, you're a murderer.
You don't want your mistake to exist.
That's what it sounds like. If you don't want the baby, we got the science. We're gonna put it in her. She's gonna finish your job.
Yeah.
So any other complaints?
I mean, it sounds like a solution, but like I said, we're going to go back to narcissists, right? So I know for a fact, just because I've been through the abortion process before. Yeah. As you've
been through the abortion process.
Correct. So
you was for it.
I wasn't against it.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Right.
So I've been through that before. And as a participant, I say, in the pregnancy, when that whole situation happens, you think that this is a solution to your problem. A healthy emotional person, I'll say that.
Yeah.
A person who handles their emotions in a healthy way. Yeah. They think that, and then after it's done, they feel relief, and then after that relief subsides, they carry that the rest of their life.
You still think about it?
Absolutely. 100%.
What year was this?
I don't know what year it was. I can tell you how old I was.
All right.
So, you want me to tell you how old I was?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting. What year?
I was 24.
All right.
Yeah, I was 24. 25. I was 25. Sorry.
Okay.
So I was 25 years old. 25? Yes. So yeah, you carry that for the rest of your life. It's not something that you forget. It's not something that you don't wonder. It's not something that you look back on and wonder like, damn, I could have had X, Y, Z amount of kids, or, you know, this is where this kid would have been had I not did this and all of this other shit. As a person who has some type of fucking compassion.
Yeah.
A person who can just drop that shit off and like not give a fuck about it and then just keep on moving. Those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the narcissists. Those are the people who don't have, like, they're not operating under the same, they don't have the same operating system as you. You operating under fucking Mac and they operating under Windows 95.
Yeah, I think it's the way sometimes the stories I hear about how people get abortions, it'd be like, I had 2 babies, had abortion, had 3 more babies, had abortion. I'm like, yo, you just
Survival.
jumping around.
Survival.
Jumping around babies?
Survival, bro. So you put yourself in a position where you realize that it's not going to be a good situation. So I had 2 kids with this person right here. They're a good father. I fucked up and got pregnant by this piece of shit who was abusive. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm off that. Like, I'm not keeping this kid because then that means I'm attached to this motherfucker for the rest of my life. Survival. You get away from that. So, or you have a kid and your financial situation is like horrible and you can barely handle taking care of the 2 kids that you already got.
No, knowing about abortions is like watching, it's like the photographers in safari watching a lion eat a zebra. It's like the same thing.
No.
Like, you see the woman going there, like, there's an abortion clinic right there. You know what's going on in there. Like, they be like, yo, we don't want to interrupt nature. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the photographer just filming the fucking lion tear the zebra open. Like, why you save the zebra?
Why?
Don't kill the lion, but
You're killing the lion by saving the zebra.
No, throw him something else to eat. And then just like...
So put him in a zoo.
No, that's not the same either. I'm saying, like, it's the same logic. Like, we just literally watching the shit happen. You don't see how it being the same thing?
When we could intervene?
Yes. Like, you can intervene. Like, you literally watching the lion just eat the zebra. The zebra, like, trying to fight back. I've seen it so many times. I'm like, yo, this is abortion. I'm like, I'm watching an abortion.
No, you're not watching abortion.
I am.
You watching nourishment.
No. It's the same shit in my mind. That's the way I perceive it.